Well, not long after signing Sergio Aguero from Manchester City, Barcelona have gone back there, Shaka, to get Eric Garcia, the defender, on a free transfer. What do you make of that move?
I think it's a step in the right direction for Barcelona. Garcia is young, talented. He ticks the boxes for Barcelona, given their financial issues, and I'll just leave it at that in terms of bringing in players cheaply. But without question, Barcelona needed and continues to need a full revamp defensively. Garcia is just one part of that puzzle, and one that I think it moves them in the right direction. Bringing in Kun Aguero, a striker who everybody in world football knows is talented. I don't think I'm being disrespectful in saying that he's gone past his best years, but another cheap option for Barcelona, still in need of a striker, one that will work well alongside Lionel Messi. So we will see how that goes in the coming months as the season gets going. There's no doubt in my mind that they ruled the departure and missed Luis Suarez, and after he moved to Atletico Madrid, and to see how that came back to haunt them. Maybe this is them just trying to put that right, but we'll know sooner rather than later as far as Kun Aguero and how he fits into Barca's system.
Is Eric Garcia the answer for their defensive issues? He's 20 years old, and like Manchester City have been desperate for a centre-back for a while. He was on their books, but they went out and signed Ruben Diaz, and look what he did. And they clearly thought that Eric Garcia was surplus to requirements. So if City didn't want him, how does he strengthen Barca?
Well, strengthens Barca because Barca were just so poor defensively. And to your point, Mark, nobody can question the partnership between Diaz and Stones and how well they finished up, and that you would expect to be their long-term solutions going forward. And I don't think it's a slight on Garcia at all that he couldn't get into a partnership that works so well for City and for so long during the course of this season. But as I said before, Barcelona were desperately poor defensively and needed a full revamp. And as you look around world football, there aren't that many world-class defenders that are options or available to Barcelona, especially given their financial issues. So Garcia comes in, and I say he ticks a number of boxes for them. It's an improvement. It doesn't hurt them financially, and a player that, if it works out and he plays well for them and settles in, will be there for a very long time.
Yeah, it's a low-risk signing. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
He's 20 years old. There's no way he's going to get in ahead of Ruben Diaz. He's already represented his country 7 times. And you'll have seen it before with various teammates over the years. Different people progress at different ages. Eric Garcia might be one. I'm sure he's got the best years ahead of him.
Without question. And you just have to liken it to Gerard Pique, who left Manchester United, not being able to get into their squad. And look at the career he went on to forge for himself at Barcelona, winning every single thing for both club and country. If Garcia can replicate Pique 50% of what he brought to Barcelona, then it'll be a roaring success, whatever that looks like.
How many pieces do you think Barcelona still need for this jigsaw next season, including the man who's going to be picking the team?
Yeah, that for me, it's a lot. There's a lot of questions for Barcelona to answer here, and unfortunately, Mark, I'm not sure that there are that many answers. I'm not convinced by Koeman's, but who out there comes in and makes his team better? I've already questioned pretty much that entire back four. They've filled one spot in there. Jordi Alba, I think, still serves them well, but they'll be needing a replacement sooner rather than later as he ages. So Sergiño Dest is growing into the position. So I'll give him at least another season to continue to prove his worth to Barcelona. They have one centre back. I think they need another. In midfield, I'm thinking De Jong. You've got to start as good as Busquets had been second half of the season. I think you need another two pieces in that midfield puzzle. Up front, you're looking for more consistency from everybody else who's kind of fill those spots. Griezmann hasn't been himself. Dembele has been good but inconsistent. Lionel Messi, despite his age, continues to simply be superhuman, and that for me has been the only bright spark for Barcelona in their, or a consistent bright spark. Let me put it that way for Barcelona in attacking wise. So there's a lot of work to do there, regardless, and not a lot of money to do it with.
That's the key thing. I mean, look, I think their best chance of success, or any success, is if Messi stays. And if we assume that he is, let's wrap this up by talking about the scenario that one of the biggest clubs in the world find themselves in right now. For everyone on the outside looking in, we haven't seen this before, when the big clubs, a lot of them, don't really have the money that they used to spend.
Yeah, and that's the amazing thing for me. And just in terms of Lionel Messi, and I know there's speculation around his future, and more to the point, his future away from the camp. No, this is just me speaking from I just cannot see Lionel Messi in anything but a Barcelona shirt. So that is always going to be my default. I am struggling to see him. Never mind the bureau facts and everything else that happened last summer. I really struggle to see Lionel Messi in anything but a Barcelona shirt. So that's always going to be my default. But yes, to your point, and Barcelona aren't the only ones here. Real Madrid have issues financially. Liverpool have issues financially. Inter have Serie A champions. And that's the thing. I think COVID and what happened over the last 12 months that we've all had to endure have hit some of these big clubs harder than they're letting on. And you will see that play out in the transfer window, in the lack of activity. And maybe some clubs would be happy to spend big money on one player. I don't think you'll see the usual movement that we come to expect with this time of year. So everybody is going to be getting creative in how they move pieces around. Players that they no longer want, in an effort to get players that they believe that they need.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.